Welcome to BI TV, your fortnightly recap of global business intelligence and analytics news, views and reviews. The first story that I'd like to take a look at can be found on itnewsonline.com and it's entitled "Survey Suggests Only 7% of European Companies Rate Big Data as Very Relevant to Their Business." Now, the article provides a summary of a recent survey to investigate the development and status quo of the BI user market. And it was compiled by European analyst firm Bark and IT services provider Stereo. Now, it's a user survey that was conducted in Europe between November 2012 and January 2013, and it questioned 668 participants from 20 different European countries. Now, the article focuses on survey findings relating to big data. Now, it found that only 7% of European companies grade big data as very relevant to their business. Now, it found that while progress has been made in improving BI use, strategies for successfully applying big data to specific business goals are beginning to stagnate. Now, the results suggest two things. Many organisations don't have the volume, variety or velocity of data to view their analytics projects in terms of a big data challenge. And to emphasise this point, the most recent edition of Bark's The BI Survey, the world's largest survey of global BI software users, found that the median input data volume for BI programs is only around 7 gigabytes. And the second problem identified was around strategy stagnation, and in fact Gartner recently reported that extensive confusion among potential purchasers regarding the definitions and differences between the terms big data, BI and analytics was blunting BI spend. And the other part of this problem is that many sections of the business analytics industry overstate big data's revolutionary potential. And the problem with insinuating that big data is revolutionary is that the premise distracts organisations from its true worth. It leads businesses on a dubious expedition to uncover a revolutionary way in which to apply big data to their strategies and operations. Organisations should, however, focus their attention on how big data projects can be applied to current business challenges. The second article that we came across was one titled "What Location Technology and Location Intelligence Can Do For You." And it was a feature article on searchbusinessanalytics.com and it was written by Steve Benner, founder of the Location Intelligence Institute. Now, it offers some useful and practical examples of how organisations can apply location analytics to their business data in order to increase sales and decrease costs. Benner offers 6 core examples. Firstly, he talks about customer analytics and the ability for location intelligence to aid with customer profiling and segmentation. He talks about retail site selection and expansion planning and the ability to assess location, local demographic and economic data, as well as geographic factors such as transport, access and location of competitors. Third, he talks about advertising and marketing promotions and the ability to help target promotions to customers' location-enabled smartphones and tablets based on their proximity to physical stores. He then mentions the ability to aid sales territory design and optimization and help companies design balanced sales territories to optimize coverage and customer service levels. And he says that you can analyze factors such as customer location and density, as well as travel times between different customer sites with high buying potential. Next, he talks about supply chain management and the ability to help design supply chain networks by optimizing delivery routes, by identifying location-based risks, as well as aiding the development of mitigation plans to minimize the effect of location-related disruptions. And lastly, he talks about field service planning and tracking. So, location intelligence tools have long provided the means to map assets and customer locations and help plan maintenance and service activities. And he says that if done effectively, this can result in lower operating costs and increased customer satisfaction. The third article that we came across was titled "The Personas That Matter Most in Business Analytics," and it originally appeared as a blog on analyst firm Ventana Research's website and it was syndicated on informationmanagement.com. It was written by Tony Constantino, Ventana Research's VP and Research Director. Now, the article discusses the effect that a new generation of users and technology is having on the field of business analytics. Constantino highlights the shift towards consumer-oriented and business-driven BI citing that 63% of participants in Ventana's benchmark research on next-gen BI found usability to be the top purchase consideration for BI software. Now, in fact, Constantino said that Ventana's findings suggested that usability is the driving factor in evaluating and selecting technology across all application and technology areas. Now, Constantino is quick to point out that ease of use is relative and contextual, and that emphasis on usability actually underscores the importance of identifying specific user groups or personas when looking to implement a BI initiative. Now, to assist with this segmentation and identification process, Constantino outlines 5 analytic personas aimed at helping organisations to be more effective in their analytic process and engagement. Now, the 5 that he lists are the information consumer, so someone who's not technologically savvy and may even feel intimidated by technology. The knowledge worker, so they're business-oriented but technologically and data-savvy users who interpret data in functional ways. Next is the analyst, now most often familiar with BI analytics tools and regularly applies analytics to analyse various aspects of the business. Fourth is the publisher, usually skilled in data and analytics, and can configure and operate BI tools and is able to publish BI content such as dashboards and reports. And lastly, he talks about the data geek. Now, this persona has expert data management skills and is more commonly aligned with the IT side of business. Now, Constantino argues that organisations should use these personas to effectively align BI software to individuals within the organisation in order to best identify who needs what set of analytic capabilities. Rick Sherman, founder of consulting and training services company Athena IT Solutions, wrote a really interesting article, and it was called 6 Misconceptions About Deploying BI Applications and Systems, and it was on searchbusinessanalytics.com. Now, Sherman contends that many BI implementations fail to yield expected ROI because they're ineffectively designed, deployed and managed. And he lists 6 common misconceptions regarding BI design, deployment and management which hold many BI projects back. Number 1, BI applications should be designed for the business power user. Now, the reality is that they don't represent the characteristics of a typical business user. So, to be successful, you have to reach out to a more mainstream audience. 2, one BI style will satisfy all business users, and it's all too common for BI teams to assume that every business user wants to analyse data in the same way. And if this happens, users will get frustrated when they're pigeonholed and may revert back to using spreadsheets. Number 3, BI systems work best when IT departments run what he dubs report factories. Now, an IT or BI team that believes it can create all the reports a business needs will quickly become overwhelmed. 4, self-service BI means you just need to give users access to data. Now, while Sherman points out that all report development shouldn't be controlled by IT, he says many organisations get caught up in self-service hype, neglecting to provide users, end users, with adequate support. 5, business users know exactly what they want before a BI project begins, and those requirements won't change. Now, Sherman is pretty quick to point out that an agile BI approach with incremental rollouts of features and functionality ensures you don't get blindsided by changing user requirements. And lastly, 6, spreadsheets will no longer be the tool of choice for BI analysis. And so finally, Sherman says that spreadsheets are here to stay, and this fact needs to be recognised. And so he recommends adopting spreadsheets as part of your BI portfolio, and you should support their effective and judicious use. Now, the last major article that we came across this time was on Retail 360 Solutions, and it was by BI consultancy Perkins Consulting. And it was called Decision Making, How Humans Make or Break Business Intelligence. Now, the article contends that BI is about understanding how humans make decisions and helping individuals overcome their many personal cognitive biases to make appropriate action based on facts. Now, the core argument of the piece, that successful BI is more than just good technology, can be summed up in a single paragraph, which reads, no matter how many dashboards you generate, graphs you chart, or reports you see, business performance won't improve if you're not making smart decisions based on that data. Now, the article then cites 6 key points from an analytics services survey published by the Harvard Business Review, which provides a framework designed to instill an organisational culture of fact-based decision-making. The 6 key traits that should be nurtured to underpin decision support technologies include adopting a database decision-making culture, decision-making transparency, corporate-wide decision-making processes, greater use of analytics in real-time decision-making, emphasis on the use of managerial insights as a supplement to data, and continual refinement and testing of new ideas. Now this time I'm going to leave you with a discussion on the BI, Big Data, Analytics, MIS reporting and database LinkedIn group. And it's around the topic, when does self-service BI really show its worth? Now unusually this discussion is a little barren at the moment, but one which I think has great potential. So get involved and have your say. Well, that's it for another instalment of BI TV. We'll catch you next time.